Alright, welcome back to Dankscore Traders Hub. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, so today is a Tuesday and we are here for the analysis. Yeah, we are here for the analysis as usual. So if it is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, of course. And of course, if you're here and you already love what we do here, go ahead and like, give us that thumbs up, and we'll be able to to keep on doing what we're doing. It helps us to keep pushing us. Yeah. All right, so without any other thing, you know the drill. We get into prayer and then get in with the analysis. So let's pray and get started. Father, we give you praise, we give you all the honor. Thank you for today. Thank you for your goodness. Thank you for your loving kindness. And we are here, Lord, for your goodness. And we're here because of your grace. As we get started today, Lord, we are saying thank you for the profits we're going to make. Thank you that we are not wrong accounts. Thank you that we are not, we are managing our emotions. Thank you that we are managing our risks, Lord. Thank you for all that you're teaching us, even as we start today's session. We give you praise, we give you all the honor. Thank you for the market insights, and then thank you for the best and good entries that you're giving us Tonight we give you praise, we give you all the honor. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Alright, so yeah. So let's get in. I hope my sound is clear. So we are going to check on Crash 500 as usual. You know the drill, guys. We start with Crash 500. So let's look at Crash 500. I hope my sound is clear. Please let me know if it is not, so that I can increase on it, so that I can increase on it. Just a minute. Alright, I think it should be clear right there. Alright, so Crash 500, we last saw it on Friday. So this was Friday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So Friday we were looking at buys. We were looking at buys to get started. So that's what we saw. The buys came through and then gave us a retest, a pull back a bit here, and then still continued. So anyone who made an entry here and is like those, the swing traders, remember I told you earlier on, according to weekly, I told you if you're a swing trader, you can enter from here. You remember that. And that's what happened. I told you can enter here and put your stop loss here. This was the purpose of this line here for the swing traders. And look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 good buy days. 4 good buy days that you should have taken advantage of. And now let's look at today. So all this we no longer need, because all that has already been passed and we have seen this good move. So let's delete all that and now get to see what we have currently. H4. So this has been buying on, started buying on Friday, then Saturday, Sunday, even yesterday it continued, and we clearly see that yesterday it broke structure right there and tested it right there and then continued. But now where we are, we've reached that level, the TP level, like I told you. Remember that level, that is an order block on H4. Price has reached it. Now it has started to give us a pullback. Why? Because we are overbought right there and we don't have enough liquidity to push to break this resistance area now. So what do we do? Now we know it's going to come down, and I believe there's a conference area that price may come back to this area here. That area there, price is likely to first return to it, and hopefully it can grab enough liquidity from there to push for the breakout right there. So right now it's quite tricky for us. It's gonna be tricky for us, but we can engage into sales, which we know they are always tricky for the asset like Crash 500. So we are going to be looking for sales. So if I know I'm going to be looking for sales, then I can easily draw something like that. It's not that clear yet, but I can draw something like that. This could be the level price can first reach before we get in with this kind of a sell. So for now, I'm gonna hold. I'm going to hold. Remember, this is a low also, so price can eventually come here or there. So just be patient with this, because of what I've done here, price can eventually do this, can eventually come here and then go back up there. So just hold on for now. We'll see about it. If it breaks this, then this will not be the low that we need. It will be this very low right here, because of this low, high, low, high, then it will be coming here to give us a low. But if it is a high, low, then low here, high, then it will be coming to this other trend line. So for now, please don't make any mistake. Just hold for now. Don't do anything. Alright, that's enough on Crash 500. Let's now head over to Boom 1000. Alright, so Boom 1000, Boom 1000, let's see. We last saw it on Friday, so let's go to daily time frame. Let's drag it right here. So we were looking for, more of sales on Friday. Did we enter any sales? Let's see. This is Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So this was Friday. All right. So what happened? Did we make any entries on Friday? Not really. We made entries on Thursday for that kind of a sell, which continued on Friday. Same thing, to reach this level, to reach that level. So now that you know that, we had this kind of a structure. Those who remember, we had this kind of a structure. We wanted price to continue selling to reach here, and then we get in with at least buys, but it had enough momentum to break that support trend line, and we saw a pullback there to confirm the breakout, and now we continue with break of structure. This is very, very clear for us now to understand. So this we move for now. Even that, delete all that. This we move, this we delete. This here, let's go to daily. Let's look at it. All right, so that is our previous resistance level, so it's becoming a support level, right? So it's becoming our support level. Are we going to see price break it and continue? I don't know. Let's go to H4. We are oversold. According to H4, we should be looking for buys. According to H1, we are already looking for buys. So all I can say is, oh, okay, this is good here. According to M15, this is good. We have a change of character according to M15. So what are we going to do? Let's go to H1. H1. So as usual, if I see price come back here, then I can make my buy entries. This is the anticipation. This is the anticipation. That's the anticipation. So if I see price come around this area here, then I can enter buys according to Boom 1000 on M15. But also remember, these buys will be you will not look for them for so long. because H1 has to give us H4 has to give us a pullback again. H4 or H1 has to give us a pullback that we can confirm and also get in later. So you need to understand this. So according to H1, yeah, this will be H1, then this will be H4. This one right here, this other move, this will be H4 move. So for now, know what you know and move according to the anticipation. So for now, according to H1, we are likely to see this move right here. We are likely to see that kind of a move according to H1. If we see that kind of a move, then we can easily make that entry for the buy. If we get any buy entries between here, when it comes below this line, if we get any entries for the buy, then we buy. It doesn't necessarily have to come all the way back to this OB, but most of the times it does come back to the OB. So for now, just hold on. Boom, 500. Look at that. Yes, good morning, Julius. Good morning, Levy. Good morning, Kemigisha. Good morning, Desmond. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing all right. You're doing fine. I hope you guys are doing fine. All right, so boom, 500. We last saw it on Friday, and let's see. Friday, Monday, Saturday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday. Okay, this is good. Look at what happened. Look at what happened from Friday. So this is Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So Friday we were consolidating. Those who remember this, you remember that. I hope you guys do remember that. This is where we stopped at. So we made some entries there, and it kept on taking me out. I was looking for sales. It kept on taking me out, and I moved out of the market. Eventually didn't go back again. So but later the sales came through from that level there. You can see on that angle there, sales came through and did not actually come back to that level right there. So if you had entered on the trend line there, you could have made this money all through to this level. What is this level? Let's look at it. That is a fair value gap according to daily time frame, I believe. No, what is that level? Oh yes, no, that's a retracement level fib. That was a fib retracement level. That was a fib retracement level right there. In fact, here, from here, from this low here, it's the one that gave us that high. So you can see that level, between 50% and 61.8. That is the level right there. So that's what we needed, that kind of a sell. Then you can see price retraced within that level. You see that retraced back, grabbed liquidity, enough liquidity to break through that retracement level and pushed all the way down below. So it's been selling for over 2-3 days. 3 days actually. Okay, 2 days it's been selling. It sold on Friday and Saturday, then bought for that retracement pullback, and then started to sell on Saturday. No, started to sell on Sunday and Monday, and even today it is still selling. So now we know all that. Let's now remove history. Let's delete everything that is not necessary anymore. Alright, delete all that. Let's now come to that. Let's now come to daily time frame. Those who remember, we were anticipating a heads and shoulder around there. Yes, the shoulder, the right shoulder was a bit high, but clearly it did not reach the previous the level of the head. So one may say we are still considering that, but not clearly that specifically. We can now continue and know that this is our level where price is coming to. All right, so where we are currently, we are at a support level. We are at a support level. Let me draw that support down here. It's according to H4 right there. That is a support level that we are currently seeing price is playing on. So what are we going to do? All right, we are still in an uptrend. Surprisingly, we are still in an uptrend according to H4. According to H4, we are still in an uptrend, and I'm forced to draw this trend line right there to give me something that I can work with. Right, if that is there, so what is down here? Then this is what is down here. So we are likely to see price continue to reach, and it reaches this trend line. But then remember, according to daily, we still need sales. We need sales. We need these sales to come here, and then we get in with buys, just like we need, or even on the weekly time frame. I believe even on weekly we need buys. Not yet, but we will be. If price gets here, then we'll be looking for buys. Why? Because that is a weekly fair value gap, and that will be confirming the change of character on weekly time frame that we have here. So if that's now considered like that, then we can have our big, we have the plan that we can consider. All right, so the sales are still continuing here without a doubt, just like we've seen according to H4. So H1, what is it saying? It's saying buys, but we can clearly see that we had a break of structure right there. So we're still very bearish unless we see a change of character on M15. So this may be a no-go for me until I see a confirmed change of character, probably on M15. So for now, it is a no-go for me. I see two equal lows on M15, but that doesn't mean anything if I don't see a change of character. So for now, no business. Boom 500. I don't want to risk anything there. Let's go to V25-1S. Volatility 25-1S. Let's see. Friday. So we last saw this on Friday. Let's see. This is Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So Friday, we wanted a pullback. If at all it failed to break that, we were anticipating a pullback back to this level. grab that liquidity on that fair value gap, then give us the buy move. This was the pullback that we were anticipating. This fair value gap was never mitigated, so that was the anticipation. Pull back to this fair value gap and then give us the buy. But unfortunately it did not do that. It actually reacted here and then gave us a breakout to continue with the buy, and it had enough momentum to even break this resistance level according to daily time frame. Look at that momentum. That was a strong momentum. So now we don't need this, that, even these two. We no longer need them. That move has already reached it. You can see it has reached that TP level. Yeah, it reached that TP. Now we should be coming in with sales since price has reached the TP level. Now this, remember, this is still valid. This fair value gap is still valid. Price cannot just leave it without reacting to it. So what are we saying? According to daily, we're still very bullish. So if we are bullish and we have a break of structure right here, then that tells us that price is actually likely to come to that level or to this fair value gap in between here. So what are we seeing on H4? Alright, so we are looking also for sales. So sales is the way to go. Sales is the way to go. This is a break of structure, is where we saw a break of structure, so it is a break of block level. Let's go to H1. H1 we need sales, but it is consolidating ever since Sunday, so we've been in that consolidation zone. We've been in the consolidation zone, so delete that. We've been in the consolidation zone since Sunday. Alright, so if I go to M15, I clearly see a trade. I see a trade which is not confirmed yet, but then I can wait for a pullback, then I enter a buy. So this is going to be my buy to there. This is going to be my buy to there. So I'm gonna wait for something like that. That's what I'm going to wait for. But sometimes it will, sometimes it will not come back, according to what I'm seeing already here. It may not come back with this move, but it may come back for one of these fair value gaps that it is leaving behind. Either this, it may come back for that fair value gap, and then we make the entry. But for now, I have to wait for a pullback. So I can't enter now the buys, it's already gone. I need to get a perfect entry. If I go to M5, yeah, I'm gonna see the pullback. So whether I want or not, the pullback is going to happen. According to M5, price is reaching that retracement level. Once it reaches it, I will be anticipating a pullback down below, and this could be the ideal level or this. So for now, I have to be patient. Alright, so that's it on V25 1S. I will be waiting for the pullback. I can enter a sell, but it's rather wait for the buy, because the general trend is a buy trend. The general trend is a buy trend according to daily time frame, so you need to be patient. V75. Let's talk about V75. Yes, hey Judy, good morning. So V75, what happened? Friday, let's start with H1. So it sold heavily since Friday. So this is Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So this was Friday here. We were looking for that kind of a buy to come there, and then we are hoping for, okay, we are hoping for it to reach that TP. Did not reach exactly it, then the sell began. We were also hoping for that sell from that level right there, those who remember the analysis. So the buy happened. Did we make any entries on Friday? Yes, we did. We made those buy entries. It hit that. It was supposed to continue, but it came back to take our stop losses in profits. Yeah, moved us out and then continued, consolidated a little bit on Saturday, and then boom, the sell began when it broke this level right there. So congrats to those that made money on this V75 on Friday. Now we don't need all this. Let's delete all that, remove history, and let's go to H4. H4, do we need this anymore? Not really, so we delete it. Do we need this? Not really, we delete it. Let's go to daily. This move, remember, according to daily, this move is still on. However, this one is done with, so we can delete it. That is on a daily. Let's go to the weekly time frame. So we are remaining with this move to reach that TP. So let's go to daily. Have we reached it yet? Almost reaching it. We have a break of structure right there, so we are almost reaching it to get in here. Alright, so H4, what are we seeing? Sells. We need sells. How about daily? Daily, not really, but price action says we have a break of structure, meaning we still are bearish. So either way, sells are still controlling the market. Alright, so let's now head over to H4. We see that price is above our 10 MA, but this is a break of structure, so we should be coming in strong with sells. According to H4, H1, it's not the case, although we see low momentum for buyers, meaning sellers still have the say here. We needed a price to get here and then go back up there, but this never happened, so I need to delete it. Delete all those selected, and let's go to M15. All right, so M15 says we need sells. Why? Because that's the general trend. Even on CCI says we need to now start considering some sells. Why? Is because price is failing to break. It's something there. It's sort of a resistance up here. So if that is a strong resistance according to M15, then we know we can wait for price to be below our 10 MA, and then we come in with our sells. These sells will be according to H4 and weekly time frame. H4, M15 and weekly time frame. So we need weekly H4, M15 for this kind of a sell. But how am I going to sell it? Only when price goes below my 10 MA right here. So before that, I'm not looking for any sells. But also if I see a breakout here, then I will enter, in fact a breakout here on this level here, then I enter buys, and these buys will now be taking us all the way here. Alright, so that's it. Let's now just patiently wait. This market is quite tricky for us, but we cannot allow it to play games on us, meaning you cannot try to force anything on this asset. Let me try to get a confirmation here. Is this what I'm seeing? Is this correct? This is correct. Then it is giving us this kind of a move there, which will mean later we'll be getting in with continuation of the previous trend. This is the previous trend, sells, so it will either break, it will have to break going down below, but it's likely to break this resistance here that we were talking about, but then it will later give us this, if this actually is what it is that we are seeing. So for now, no business. I'm going to leave it like that for now, and let's go to jump 50. The market is slow today. The market is slow. So yesterday we had some good moves according to what we've seen so far from some assets. So we missed that yesterday. What is this? This is jump 50. On Friday we were looking for those buys, but we first wanted a pullback here, which we never saw, and then the buy actually continued to hit the TP up there. You can see that was our TP level, and then this would have been a good entry. You can see this was the TP level right there. That was our TP level right there that we were anticipating on Friday. But then look at what happened on on Saturday. Sales began according to H1, then pullback. This was now a confirmation on H4. This was a confirmation on H1 for the sales, but then confirmation on H4 is there when price reacted back. That was H4 there. You can see that was a confirmation for H4, price reacting back to the highs and failing to take them out, and now that is where the sell, this would have been our entry for the sales according to H1 or M15. Actually that would have been on M15. Let me see, drag this right here. Yeah, according to M15, that would have been the entry on that candle there for this kind of a sell when price reacted back up there. All right, so we know all this now, so let's delete everything right here. All this is no longer necessary, even this, so delete all that. Go to H4. This is not necessary, but this right here, it is necessary. That is a support level. All right, so what are we seeing here? We're seeing price has reacted. We wanted sales there, and that's what happened. Yes, we are still continuing with those sales, but we have reached that support level. Remember this move here, this move here, this is according to daily. We wanted a pullback from there to go back, and then later we come in again with sales. Why are we looking for a pullback here? I'm not sure why, but I see it is there. I see it is there according to H4, although I don't see it according to daily. I'm wondering why. Alright then, it's fine, it's okay. So we have another support here. We have another support area down below. We have that. So all we need is price to react back to where, though we are not seeing any perfect point for that. So if it is doing this, price is above my 10 MA. We are buying. We are going to buy, and hopefully we can buy all the way back to this resistance level up there. Resistance level up there. All right. Okay. I see fair value gap left up there. H4, there's that OB, so it's likely to come to this OB according to H4. It's likely to come there. Then grab that liquidity on that OB. It can even look for stop losses of early sellers around there, and once it grabs it, that will be the liquidity pool above here, the stop losses there, and then we get in with sales. So having said all this, we now know we are going to look for buys, but we cannot look for buys if M15 is not already giving us buys. So we need to wait for M15 to be ready for buys. Once M15 starts buying, then we enter without a doubt. We know that we'll be buying according to H1, according to H4, and hopefully this will be a pullback also according to daily time frame to look for that kind of a buy. So all that we need now is to wait for M15 to start buying. That is jump 50, jump 25. Please, if you have a question, please let me know that question in the comment section. If you have an addition to any of these analysis, any of these assets that we are analyzing, let me know in the comment section. But also a reminder is that don't forget to like, give us that thumbs up, like the session if you love what we're doing here, and of course if you've never subscribed before, go ahead and subscribe. It helps us to keep doing what we're doing here. All right, jump 25. So wow, let's first go to Friday. So Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. I remember telling you that I'm not going to even waste my time on jump 25 on Friday, and you can see what happened. It had given us those equal highs, almost equal highs. It was like a double top, and then before you knew it, it came back and did that, consolidated the whole of Saturday. Then on Sunday we saw a break of structure, continue with the buys, and that break of structure even happened on the H4 time frame. Even on the daily we saw that breakout up there. You clearly see it, and now we are seeing sales come in. It hasn't reached there to grab that liquidity on that fair value gap, so we still know that it is still very bullish. But now what are we seeing? What is this? This is gonna be a pullback according to daily time frame. I want to delete that. I don't need it anymore. This, I would put this there. The general trend, remember, is still a downtrend according to weekly. We are still looking for a downtrend. We thought price would come to this level where we had a break of structure here, and then we come in with sales, but then price broke that level and continued. So that can only tell us that price is likely looking for this fair value gap, that liquidity of this fair value gap. So if that's the case, then we know that it's gonna come here. It's going to look for this pullback right in here, right in there. Once it gets it, then it will again go for this buy right up there. So we're likely to see something like this. We're likely to see something like that. So if that's the case, then we have to be very, very careful with J25. I would actually wait for sales, not buys. I will actually wait for sales. So H4 is already looking for some sales. There's rejection from sellers up there according to those previous how many candles? 4 candles. You can see that price rejection, which followed actually that kind of momentum, those 3 H4 candles that were pushing for sales. So then followed, we saw the rejection there, but all that is nothing. It is only pointing us to the right direction, but we cannot do anything until price breaks that level. So let's go to H1. What is it? What are we seeing? We're seeing consolidation. That is what we are seeing. We are seeing consolidation, and in this consolidation, it can even take the whole of today. So for now, no business. According to M15, we can try and play around it. For scalpers, we can try and play around it. We can play around it like this. You'll be knowing it's coming here, then going back up, but also you'll be knowing that eventually it will break and then continue like that, and then continue like that, which will be this level right there. So either way, this is still, this is one of those that you don't want to play around with. It's going to be consolidating the whole of today, and then later we will be getting in with sales probably tomorrow. The sales may not happen today, it may happen tomorrow, but that is not it's not my job to do that, because I'm not a market maker or a market mover. So I just follow what I see, what these guys show us, what these guys give us. So if they inject in a lot, then we will see price break out this level, and then the sales will continue. If we don't see that, then price will again bounce from this level and go back up there. So we have to be patient. J10, what happened? All right, so J10, Friday. This was Friday. We wanted a pullback there, then we'll come in with sales. So the pullback happened, then the sell happened, even though it did not reach where we wanted it, but it happened here. Then the sell came in, which did not last for so long. It did not even give us that kind of a breakout to reach here. But then what happened? It gave us a double bottom right here, according to H1, and then boom, on Saturday we get to see a change of character, and then on Sunday it comes and confirms it early morning right there, and then before you know it we have a break of structure, confirm, then break of structure, tested it here, then we have here coming all the way back to the highs, then reaches that resistance level, price is pushed back, tests it again, fails to break it again, pushes back until yesterday evening, no, until today morning, when it broke that very level. So it's been a crazy kind of move for jump 10. All I can say is we can now look at today. Let's now look at today. First delete all that. Let's go to H4. H4 is still looking for sales, but price action says otherwise. Let's go to daily. Daily says, oh, we haven't gotten a break of structure yet on daily, so the sale may be still on. So all I can say is don't focus on J10 today. Don't focus on it. Yes, H4 is showing you a break of structure up there, that external break of structure there, but it is not enough. You may have to wait for daily time frame. You may have to wait for this day to close. Why? Because H4 was already showing us sales according to CCI right there. You can see that. Daily time frame is already showing us that it is overbought and it wants to sell right there. So we had not seen any break of structure on H4 until today. Until today, that's where we saw the break of structure, right here, right there. That is where we saw the break of structure according to H4, and that is the external break of structure. Of course we have these internal break of structures here and there, but it's not enough. We need to be sure that it also breaks that external structure and then tests it and then continues. So for now it's gonna be a hard one to try to maneuver around, but if I see something like this on H1, then I'm entering my buys, my sells. If I see something like that on H1 and M15, then I'm entering sells. If price comes back here and fails to break that level, it's gonna be my entry for sells without questions. Alright, so that's it on crash on J10. Let's wrap it up with gold and we see what is, and we call it a day. Gold, like we talked about on Friday and that whole week, that it was still very bullish, but we were trying to anticipate a pullback. So let's see. This was Friday. Friday kept on, it was a consolidation day Friday, but then news came in and hit that level of resistance up there, came back to that resistance on Friday. So I want to delete all this. My anticipation was breakout here to reach there. Those who remember, in fact, I wanted to enter some buys. What is this I did here? Let's see. Was it a buy? What was it? Yeah, I entered a buy here when it came back to this level, having seen it break that level. I entered buys here. It took me out immediately, like after 1 hour or 30 minutes. It took me out and then prayed around there. You can see the rejection that was there. That's the reason why I was looking for buys there, but I had put a tight stop loss. You know me with tight stop losses, so I had put a tight stop loss. Took me out, came here and prayed around, and then boom, the buy came through. This very buy that we are looking for, that was a buy that we were looking for, to come back to that resistance level right there. So, and we are anticipating, hopefully, if it fails to break that level, then we come in with a pullback sell to push us where? To push us all the way. Let's see. Let's go to H4. To push us all the way to this breaker broke, which is a daily break of structure level right there. That is what we were hoping for, but we never saw that. In fact, it still had enough momentum for buys. So all this now can go. We don't need it. We don't need all this. All this, it has to go. All that. Let's delete all that. All right, so now that we see this, let's now head over to H4. So we have an equal high there, then we out of nowhere we get a break of structure right there, you know. Then we have a pullback. We have this kind of a pullback, which was according to H1 still showing us there is a weak high, meaning there's still a possibility of buyers continuing or buys continuing. So all we can do is just anticipate that price to react there and probably give us a pullback for this H4 breaker broke. Pullback here for this H4 breaker broke, and then hopefully continuation of buys. That is what I can hope for. So if I'm on M15, I know that we are in an uptrend. We are looking for buys. Why? The buys have to come for that level. For that level. So now, what do? You wait for a perfect entry on M5. You wait for a perfect entry on M5 for this kind of a buy move. For that kind of a buy move. Excuse me. For that kind of a buy move. You clearly wait for M5 and M1 for this kind of a buy move entry. It's gonna be a sniper entry when it reacts here. The sniper entry would have been right down here, but now we can anticipate the one on M1 when it reacts all the way back to such a level where we saw that break of structure. So for now, we wait. We wait for gold. This will be the move that we can use to make this money today. If it continues all the way here, if it continues all the way down below, then it will be looking for this OB. Then it will be looking for that OB right here. Then it will be looking for that OB. If it breaks this level and continues down below, then it will be looking for this OB. But for now, we wait for something like this. All right, that is gold for us there. Remember, if it does that and fails to break that weak high there, then it can easily come for this pullback move according to H4 to come to this breaker broke level on H4. So remember that. But for now, our focus is going to be here and get in with that kind of a move. That's it for today. I hope you guys had a great time. Let's do the recap and then we call it a day. Today's market is quite slow. I hope you guys can all see that. All right, so let's do the recap and then call it a day. So crash 500. All right, so we know this was not the trend line to consider. This was. So we know that buys are coming in. Buys are coming in. So how do we consider this buy? How do we consider this buy? I think I can even enter it. Can I? This is M15. M15 wants buys. How about H1? H1, it's not ready to sell yet. I can wait for this H1 to close, and then I can enter my buys, because we are going to buy, and then the confirmation is going to be on M5, so we are going to buy this. So everyone who loves trading crash 500, this is the move that is coming in from now. From now, this move from there to there, it's the move that we're going to look at, and that can be your target for the day, and you're out of the market. Don't try to trade everything. You get only one trade and focus on that and take it. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I can enter here, but it's gonna be quite risky. According to M5, it's still a bit risky, but if I enter here, that means my stop loss will be quite big to there, because it can easily give me another spike down here to give me a fake breakout on this OB. So that's why I'm not entering now. And the other reason is it is too far away from my 10 MA, even though it is not too far away on M5, but M5 is not yet oversold here, so that's why it's crazy for me to make that decision now. Alright, boom 1000. So the pullback failed. We only got to see this short one, and then we have a break of structure, so it means the buy is on. We may not see this, we may see it later, but I cannot enter either way. I cannot make this mistake, so I will still wait. I will still wait, and now we have a fair value gap that it can eventually come back to that fair value gap there. So I still have to wait. I cannot enter any buys where it is now. I will have to wait a little bit more. Alright, but you know we are going to be looking for buys for some good time. Boom 500, I told you the sale is continuing, and it is likely to come to this trend line, and then we can anticipate some buys from there, hopefully, or breakout and it continues selling. Why? Because a structure like this can still continue to sell and grab liquidity on this fair value gap according to weekly time frame. So, but before it does that, we are likely to get in with this kind of a buy, move. So for now, no business. I have to be patient and wait for this kind of a buy move that I need on both. It's gonna be on H4, H1 buys, and even M15, but I need to get the confirmation to start buying. What is this? V25S. So we need a pullback. We haven't seen one yet. It is starting to give us that kind of a pullback, having given us that breakout there. This breakout was looking for this fair value gap liquidity, and it has grabbed it. So now it is on for this move. Can we enter that sell? I doubt you can. We cannot actually. So if you need to enter that sell, then you have to wait for that confirmation on M5 for that sell move. If you don't get a confirmation, then you leave it and wait for the buys either here or down here. That's it. V75, the buy continued just like we anticipated. Yeah, that is a buy that we anticipated. It continued with actually more momentum. It's coming to that trend line, and then we can enter ourselves just like I told you. So yeah, we now know. Now we can wait. So I can delete this and wait for that to reach there. J50, what did we say about J50? Why am I not seeing anything? Oh yes, J50, we are waiting for M15 to be ready for the buys. Yes, so J50 it's still selling according to M15, but then we will wait for it to be oversold for us to come in with our buys later. So for now, no business with J50. We have to be patient. J25 still consolidating within here, so you can either wait for it to get here and then enter the buys, or wait for down here and enter sells. So no business for it. It's consolidating, still in a consolidation, same as J50. That's the consolidation zone right there. And actually, having seen this on J50, I think we may see sells. Yes, there's this fair value gap it may try to come for, then probably later sells, but it can easily, it has to come for that fair value gap, whether we want it or not. It has to come for that fair value gap. So now we know the move. We now know the move. Grab liquidity there, then go for this sell. That's the move. Let's wait and see if that move will actually come through. J25 is consolidating, I've told you. Then J10, we need buys here, but we haven't gotten any confirmation yet on M5. Probably we have on M1. I think we have. It's just a pullback, so it may not even give you a confirmation here. You can actually wait for sells there than going in to risk on the buys here. So calculate properly and see which one you want to take. I would rather tell you to wait for sells here when they are confirmed than trying to push for buys here. Gold, I will have to wait for a pullback, then entry for the buys. This pullback can easily come all the way here, I told you that. So let's also have that scenario, and then do this. That is the second scenario. So that is it for gold. Just hold on. I told you for sellers this would have been your entry. That was a confirmation. For sales, why don't we enter this sale? Why don't we enter this sale? First TP is there, second TP is here, so I'll go for the first TP down here. That is a short sale I'm looking for. This is an M5 kind of move, so I want to take my TP here and move out. If it continues, the better, but I've entered that sell. Why? It was confirmed on M1 right there. So that was a sell that I can't fail to make. Alright, so let's see what is happening on gold. So that's it for today. Hope you guys had a great time with me. Please don't forget to subscribe if you've never subscribed. Of course, don't forget to like, give us that thumbs up, and we will really appreciate it. Otherwise, have a nice day. Hope you had a great time. See you tomorrow, same time, 10:30 to 11:30. Bye bye.